Hi guys, Squill here, and did you ever want to own your own trailer in American Truck Sim? Well, coming in 1.32 is trailer ownership. In this video, I'll take you through it. So before we get started, just a very quick disclaimer, this is a pre-release version of American Truck Sim 1.32. This is not yet available as a public beta as Eurotruck is. Now what that means is I don't have a full list of changes that has come into 1.32, so all I can do is show you what I can see so far, which is obviously subject to change. Now, if you've seen my Eurotruck video on 1.32, you'll know that there's a change in the UI. That's the first thing that you're going to see. As you can see, what they've done is they've moved some things around. For example, profiles are down here and the photo studio's down here. And up here, they've added some more stuff. This is around the truck dealer, the trailer upgrades, the trailer dealer, the trailer upgrades, and the trailer manager, which is currently disabled because I haven't bought any trailers. So what we'll do is we'll walk through the trailers and the different configurations and what kind of thing that you can buy, and then I'll show you how to manage your trailers. So when you're ready to buy your first trailer, click on the trailer dealer icon up on the top right here, and you'll be put into this configuration screen. Now, there's only 2 pages of trailers at the current build. This is all stock SCS trailers. Of course, in the future, when we start to get trailer mods, they will appear in here as well. You could end up with tens of pages of trailers to configure. For now, there's only flatbed and effectively box curtain side trailers with various options. So what we'll do is we'll go through those. Note that the triples that you see here and the doubles, these will only be purchasable if you have a garage in Nevada, because that's where you need to place the trailer. It's only legal in Nevada, so you'll need to buy yourself a garage in Nevada if you want to drive one of those. What we can do is we can start off by looking at the flatbeds, and then we'll move on to the more box stuff later. So when you go into the customization screen, you're taken into a large garage where you can configure your trailer. Along the top, just like in Eurotruck configuration, it's all very similar to Eurotruck. Along the top is the chain type, the body, the chassis, the paint, and the accessories. And you can work through these in any order you like. The chain type is what affects the links between the trailers. So if you've only got a single trailer, you've got no links. But once you start going to double, this is where you get the link stuff. You've then got the Rocky Mountain double, which is the long and then a small trailer at the back. And then the triple, of course, is 3 equal sized trailers like this. Just be aware, if you want to buy one of these, you will need to have a garage in Nevada. I know I keep saying this, but you might come in via the single and try and buy double and configure it all and then hit purchase, only to find that you don't have a garage in Nevada. So make sure you've done that. Let's start off by looking at the single. Now along the top is the bodywork. At the moment, there's no icon here because this is a pre-release version. But what this does is change the surface from flatbed to flatbed aluminium and curtain solder. So effectively, you've got what looks like wood and then aluminium and then a very boxy curtain solder like that. These are applicable to each of these here. So if I choose a Rocky Mountain double and then I go flatbed, you'll see it's exactly the same, and then aluminium and then curtain solder. The chassis options, on the other hand, are slightly different. So for example, you have on the Rocky Mountain a double and a double pup, and the difference is here. If you watch what happens when we click double pup, basically you get a trailer with its own standalone legs. It kind of doesn't make any difference to what you'll be doing because you'll never be detaching trailer 2 from trailer 1, but in real life this is what can actually happen. It's part of the configuration. And that applies all across the board. For example, the triples have the same thing. The triples have the triple and triple pup. And so do the doubles and so on. So let's leave it on the box double because that's perhaps the simplest to work around. What you can now do is, having chosen your chain type and your body and the chassis that you want, let's go double pup because why not, you can then paint it. Paint options affect the actual bodywork differently. So for example, on the trailer with a box, the paint will actually affect the box here, and you'll see again there's missing icons. So on these here, it actually paints the outside of the box, but doesn't paint the front or rear. Actually the rear is already painted. It doesn't paint the front though. Whereas if you have the flatbeds and then you go into the color, then what it actually does is change the frame itself, as you can see there. So it depends on what kind of trailer you're trying to configure. But let's just go with a curtain sider for now. We'll stick a pattern on there, and yep, the colors are completely changeable, so you can make up your own paint scheme however you want here. Red and black, red and white. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. There you go, nice dark red there maybe, and then we'll just change that to perhaps a nice yellow. There you go. Wonderful stuff. So yeah, again, once we get more mods, we'll get more skins, we'll get more options. Finally, you've got the accessories. Now, with the accessories, they're a little bit limited in the default version of ATS, but essentially what you've got here, you've got a light that you can put along the top there, you've got a light bar that you can put, and then you've got a wind deflector, and that applies to both of the trailers, both front and rear, like that. Down the side here, you've got the lighting. So again, it's very similar to what we saw in Eurotruck. You can just see the little dot lights here. And then along the bottom, you've got different options. You've got aluminium box, chrome box, and you can put different ones on different sides like that. And then the same thing up at the front. And obviously, once we get more mods, which will have more accessories, you know, the possibilities here are going to start to go through the roof, which is great. You've then got options for your wheels, so you can make your wheels match your truck. For example, maybe on your truck you've got some nice shiny wheels and you want to have shiny wheels on the trailer. Well, now you can do it. No longer will we have trucks with completely different paint skins and wheels and so on and so forth to our truck. And the way you can test this is this handy option down here. This will bring in your current truck. So now you can see whether your trailer that you're configuring is going to work nicely with your truck. And you can see I've got the deep red there, but perhaps that red here wouldn't work so well. So maybe I'll go and change that later. But you get the idea. Being able to turn your truck on and off is fantastic. If we drop back to the flatbed aluminium, you'll notice that the accessories are similar, but just slightly different. What you get instead of the vents and stuff at the front, the lights at the front, is you get steel walls or aluminium walls because they're flatbeds like that. That applies across the board. So if we go for single, you can see the color is changed there. The accessories are exactly the same down here and so on. And then around the back, the trailers can be configured with different rear bumpers, and they can be configured with long load, oversize, and wide load. I really like that because that means, you know, later on when we start to get you know, super wide loads and things like this, we don't have it yet, but when we get wide loads, you'll actually be able to put a wide load sign on the back of your trailer, which will just be fantastic. So here, for example, we could put a sign that says long load, because it's a triple, so it works perfectly. Finally, you've got the mud flaps. You can just have standard or exclusive. So I would say, you know, all in all, these options are nice. I think the Eurotruck trailers have a bit more configuration around here, but they're still pretty good. But obviously mods are going to change this completely. Let's jump over now. Having looked at the flatbed, let's go and have a look at the boxy trailers. Back on the trailer dealer screen, this is where we can choose the drive van, but I think there's one thing I didn't show you. Let me just quickly jump back into the flatbed. So with the double, the mountain double, and the triple, I showed you the chassis options of double and double pup, and that applies to all three. The mountain double only has those two options. The triple only has the two chassis options. However, the single has the most chassis options. So if you click on chassis here, you can go 28 foot, which is a short stubby one, to 45 foot front, a single 45 foot front. I think these descriptions and icons are going to change slightly because you can see, although it's the same, it's 3 foot longer trailer, but it actually moves the axle slightly more forward. There's a 45 rear and a 45 front. You can see the difference between the two, and a 48 front and a 48 rear. It's all about axle placement. Again, I mentioned this in the Eurotruck video. This is more of a cosmetic thing at the moment because it doesn't really affect the kind of load or the weight of load or the spread of load because we have no control over that stuff. So really this is just a cosmetic change mirroring what's in the real world. You've then got the 45 with the spread axles, the 48 with the spread axles, and then you go on to triple axle stuff, the 45 with triple, 48 with triple, 53, so we're getting really long now, and the same thing, front, rear, spread, triple axle with a lifted one, 4 axles and the axle spread. And you can see on this one, that may be a steering axle, I'm not sure. So there's on the Eurotruck version, there's little icons and it shows you which axle is steering on here. So we're gonna have to wait before that stuff comes out because this is a pre-release version. But you get the idea. You can really go to town and configure all your axles. And of course, when you accessorize, you can choose the wheels and the tires and so forth. And then under here, you've got the support frames, tool boxes, aluminium boxes, that kind of thing that we saw earlier. So it's all fully configurable and you can make each trailer, like the combinations here, are really crazy. So every trailer that you make could be different, you know, because of all the different combinations that we have. But anyway, let's go and look at the box stuff. So a little bit like in the truck configuration screen, in the trailer dealer, there's nothing here that you can't build by going through the menus. These are kind of just pre-built things. So the idea here is you pick the thing nearest to what you want and then configure that. But you could easily start on a flatbed like this, a short flatbed, and end up on a triple insulated, no problem at all. So what we'll do is we'll click on any one of these. We'll click on the drive end, for example, click configure, and yep, as you can see, we have a different body. This is a drive end. The three options here are insulated and reefer. The reefer is obviously the refrigerated one. So we'll just stick that onto double and we'll start to have a play. So that's the drive end version. And of course, if you wanted to, you can completely change the color of it. Perhaps a nice blue, or maybe, you know, a nice deep red, something like that. Again, we can click the truck down here and make sure we get, you know, the red that matches the truck that we're trying to drive. Do love that feature. Now then, doubled. We can go with drive end, we can go with insulated, and we can go with reefer like that. And if you click on accessories, you can see you can even change the refrigeration unit on the front from a cooler to a turbo cooler, and even a chromed cooler, which is very, very posh and expensive, 36 grand. Personally, I like the Turbo King, and you can put one on the front trailer or on the back trailer, however you choose. Click on this option here to put the lights on, and you guessed it, you can put more lights down the side, so I have more or fewer lights as you see fit. And then underneath, down here, this is where it kind of gets interesting. You've got the blade side skirt like that, which the idea is to try and offer a bit of wind protection. You've got the blade side skirt, which I'm not really sure what the difference is between the two. Maybe they've not implemented that yet. And you've got the painted one, of course, which does have a slight difference there, as you can see. And then the spare tire, if you choose not to have the blade, you can just have the spare tire like that. Two spare tires and a blade, however you want to do it. If we jump to the rear coach, or the rear trailer, I should say, there you go. It's exactly the same on that one. Like that. So you configure that, then you configure your wheels and your tires, and then around the back you've got options for a standard door, a roll-up door, or even a chrome door if you want to get super posh. And then finally the rear bumper, as we saw before, so just different design, and the mud flaps, of course, exclusive or non-exclusive. So that's what it looks like with a double reefer. Let's flick over to a single, and what we'll do is we'll change the chassis to perhaps a 53-foot rear axle, so now super long. Reefer, insulated, or drive end. Well, we'll go insulated. Let's try that. We'll keep the color the same, only this time we'll go and accessorize, and we should find we've got the side skirt, the tires, the painted tire, but we've also got the aero side skirt. Look at this. So you've got this option here to bring the aero side skirt in, which of course demands a slightly different trailer. There you go. Axle configuration. Well, you can see the idea of this, as it says with its name aero, is to provide wind deflection around the rear wheels, just making it slightly more fuel efficient, which is completely cool. It looks awesome. So yeah, this stuff works in a double and mountain double, so you could just extend it even more. Go back down here, put a spare tire on the back there. You don't have the options for the aero on the shorter rear trailer, so you could just put like 2 spare tires maybe if you wanted to. Stick some more lights on there, like that, and then configure the rear. Maybe you can have a nice chrome finish, exclusive, and there you go. Looking good. What does it look like on our truck though? Let's have a look. Did I mention I like that feature? So you can see, you can create a trailer now that you're going to be really happy to just drive around on the road, because this trailer is going to go with you wherever you choose to take it. So let's talk more about how we actually manage our trailers, and how we collect them and how we transfer goods with them and make some money. So having configured our trailer up here, we'll start off by hitting the purchase screen, and what we need to do now is decide where we want this trailer to be based. So this will show you all the garages that you've got. Now this is a new profile, so I don't have many garages here, but you can see I've got one down in Tucson there, I've got one in Sacramento, and I've got one in Reno. Now I can't choose Sacramento or Arizona, I can only choose Reno. Why? Because I configured a double trailer. Remember earlier I mentioned that to you? This has to go here, so we'll send that over to Reno. Do you really want to buy an insulated RM double for $149,000 and store it in your garage in Reno? Yes, I do. Okay, now before I leave this screen, I can't, once I leave this screen, that customization will be lost. And I don't think it should be. I should be able to order another one of those, but that's another story. What I'm going to do is click customize, and I'm going to drop this down from a Rocky Mountain double. I'm just going to drop it down to a single, make it into a triple axle, drop in one of our lovely aero skirts like that. Make sure we've got the triple lights on like the other one did. Make sure the chrome is on the back. We've got the long load sign. We've got the exclusive like that. Perfect. And on the front though, we could even put a wind deflector or possibly a chromed wall, because that looks kind of cool. Let's confirm that, and we'll purchase that one. Now that one is now available to go anywhere we like, so we're going to stick that one in Sacramento. Do you want to buy it and put it in Sacramento? Yes, I do. And if I wanted to, I could buy another one again, and I could stick it down in Tucson. So it's important, once you've configured, to make sure you buy as many as you want of them before you leave the screen, because once you leave the screen, it will be a real pain to recreate that configuration. Let's go and have a look now how we actually manage those trailers, and we'll take one and go and take some cargo with it. In order to get a look at the trailers that you own, you click down here on the trailer manager. That will show us the trailers that we purchased. We purchased 2 insulated ones, and we purchased an insulated RM double. Now you can see a few things on this page here. We have the current user, the current truck, the garage where it's based, the utilization, and the current status. So each trailer has to belong in one garage, and that is shown here. So for example, this one in Tucson is currently idle. There's no driver assigned to it. There's no truck assigned to it. Nobody's using it. If we was to leave it in this garage in Tucson, then the AI drivers that are based in Tucson can use the trailer. They can, when they're looking for work, they can either take a job from the job market as per standard, or they can take that trailer and go and haul some cargo with it. They can do that because this trailer is currently made for public use. If we want to stop the AI from taking this trailer, we mark it as private like that. Once it's marked as private, it's locked and only we can take it. That will never be taken by an AI driver. If we want to actually use it ourselves, if you want to go there now and take it, we need to click on the use icon and go to Tucson. So let's go to, instead, Sacramento. Actually, no, let's go to Reno and take this one. We'll click on use here, and we'll say, yep, I want to take that trailer. And it says a selected trailer has been attached. Because I'm at Reno, it's now attached my trailer. If I wasn't at Reno, I'd have to go there now and pick my trailer up. It'll be sat outside waiting for me. Now, if you want to reconfigure it, you click on the configure button. If you want to sell it, you can sell it here. And if you want to relocate it to a different garage, you click on this button here and tell it where you want to go. I'll explain more about what the park option does in a second when we get in the cab. And incidentally, note that now we're using it, it marks it up here as our current user is our profile name. The current truck is us in our Kenworth W900. Garage is in Reno, and you can see the icon has changed to, effectively, this is now attached to a truck rather than just being sat idle. Now the utilization will start to build up later as your AI drivers start to take your trailers. You'll be able to click on one of your garages and actually look at the utilization. For example, if we click on Fresno, we can now go on economy summary, and in here we'll start to see revenue coming in, truck maintenance, driver's pay, fuel, profit, and average daily profit out of this garage. Same thing with Sacramento. So this is like more information that never really used to be here. It's starting to surface more of the financial information that's going on under the hood. And I welcome that, because I think the game needs a lot more kind of detail in it. But you can see the productivity is going on here. So what I don't know yet is how to increase my productivity. That's kind of missing information, but it's starting to give me more stuff now in 132, which I really like. Let's jump back in the cab, and you can see that our trailer has been attached, like so. Now, if we want to get rid of our trailer, and let's say we've been traveling around for a while and we've taken some goods in this trailer, and you think, oh, you know what, let's go and do some flatbed stuff. How do I actually send my trailer back to the garage? How do I take a different trailer? Well, the way that you do it is, well, two ways of doing it. You can either press the F7 key, at which point you'll see information now. You'll see you've got your damage on your truck, your damage on your trailer, and your damage on your goods. They're now separate. You used to just have truck and trailer, now you've got truck, trailer, and goods. But obviously, if you damage the goods, you're going to get paid less for a job. If you damage the truck or trailer, it's your trailer, buddy, you're going to have to pay for the repairs. If you press enter, you've now got the normal towing option where you get a tow to the nearest garage, and you've also got dismiss trailer. So if you click that, it says, do you want to store this trailer in the garage? So what it'll do is it will effectively transport that trailer back to the garage, and it will make it available for AI drivers to use, and you can go and pick another one up. The other way of doing it is the option I showed you a second ago when you were in the trailer manager screen. If you click on it and you click park, it does exactly the same thing. Do you want to store it back in the trailer? And that will do the same thing up here to the status. It'll just make it look like this, where it's not actually assigned to anyone. So that's how you do that. Let's have a look now at how we actually pick up goods to transport in our brand new trailer. So, slight change of plan. I decided to jump out of the double trailer that we had and go back to this super long aero trailer, because it's a bit easier to find jobs in this trailer. I can show you a bit more variety. So another thing I want to show you when you press escape is if you go to diagnostics, you'll see that you now get a breakdown not just for your truck but also for your trailer. It tells you what kind of trailer it is, what the maximum weight is, the axle count and so on, and it gives you a damage report down the side here as well. So obviously when you go to the mechanic to repair any damage, you're going to have two sets of figures here that you're going to need to fork out for. Now in terms of taking a job, traditionally ever since this game was released, the only thing that we could ever take was trailers out of the freight market or a quick job. A quick job would supply the truck and the trailer. The freight market would supply the trailer and the goods. And then later on we got the external contracts, which was the same thing, but it made it online. And finally now we have the cargo market. So the cargo market is separate to the other freight markets. The cargo market is only concerned with goods, and in order to move things with the cargo market, you need to have trailers. So when you click on the cargo market, it will show you what kind of goods you can transport based on the trailer that you currently have. And that's an important thing. If you want to transport something big and heavy, you're probably going to need a flatbed. If you want to take some perishable items, some food, you're going to need a refrigerated trailer and so on. So let's take a look at the cargo market. So this is the cargo market. This is the stuff that we can transport given the trailer that we currently have attached. As you can see, it's all food, packaged food, vegetables, dry fruits, fruit and yogurt, that kind of thing. And if I click around, it'll tell me where it's all going to go. If it's for example, an urgent delivery, or if it's an important delivery, obviously get more money for that. Click in a different city, nothing there. Click in a different city, so on and so forth. It works just like the job market, except it's not for trailers, it's for items that need to be moved. There are filters, of course, so you can find yourself just the stuff that you're after. However, here's the one thing that you can't do. You can't look in the city that you're in and see what goods are available to transport with a different trailer. So although my trailer can transport all of these things, I can't find a way of having it show me things that I could transport if I swap my trailer. Because in my garage, I might have a flatbed or an overweight or oversized flatbed trailer or something like that, and I want to see what jobs are available if I switch trailer. I can't see that. It's restricting me to just the things that I can take with my current trailer. And I would have preferred it, I think, if it perhaps showed me everything that's available, and then when I click on something like, I don't know, an industrial component, it will say, you can't transport that because you need this kind of trailer. And I'd be like, fine, I'll go and swap my trailer then. But I can't see that at the moment. Once I've got this trailer attached, it only shows me this stuff. So I think that should be something that perhaps is changed. So for example, let's take yogurt. Let's go down to the Grand Canyon with 18 tons of yogurt, set our destination, and as usual, we need to go and drive to the destination. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it, actually. Let's move forward and see if this is the cargo that we want. Click on cargo market, and then yogurt, take job. Now, here's the difference. With this, when you own your own trailer, you no longer have to worry about disconnecting your trailer. What you need to do is park as normal, and then the game will load the goods into your trailer, but you never ever disconnect anymore. You don't press the T key, which is almost guaranteed that's what you'll do when you first pull in. You'll press the T key, because I know I did. it's such second nature to me to pull up and press the T key. Let me just get myself moved over, and we'll reverse this thing in. And I'll show you what you need to do. Super long trailer, this one. There we go. Let's just move forward a little bit and then reverse back. The chrome on the front of that trailer is like crazy, shining off the metal fence at the front. There we go. Apparently that's fine. So again, here we go. Don't press the T key, just press the Enter key, and the goods will now be loaded into the back of the trailer like this. It takes a variable amount of time. This one takes 10 minutes. It'll move the game time forward 10 minutes, and the cargo's now been loaded. That's it. That's all there is to it. Drive as normal now. Go to your destination, pull over at the toll booths, sleep if you have to, all that good stuff. Just get yourself to the destination, and I'll show you how to unload the trailer. Now, as I said at the start of this video, this is a pre-release version. This is a pre-release of 1.3.2. This should be available for a public beta fairly soon, but as of currently, I don't have access to a full list of changes, so all I've done is shown you the stuff that I know for certain is in the game. I know they've made some changes to the rendering, some frame optimizations, and tightened a few bits and pieces up, but apart from that, the main thing in American Truck Sim 1.3.2 is this stuff here that you'll see in the trailer ownership. What it will mean, though, is all of your trailer mods will be broken, and it's very likely that your map mods may break as well, although it's more likely on Euro Truck than American Truck. But just be aware that the maps may, that if they change the data structures underneath, then your maps will break. But almost certainly, almost certainly your trailer's mods will have to be rebuilt because of the new way that this works. But on the other hand, this is actually very exciting, because what we've now got is the ability for mod authors. I mean, they're going to be happy and sad at the same time, because they've got a lot of work ahead of them, but it means that they can give us some pretty amazing stuff. They'll be able to give us trailers that we can own and drive around in, and fully configure to look like our trucks in terms of all the accessories on them. So pretty exciting times ahead, I think, in terms of gameplay. But just be aware when it does come out, it's very likely that stuff is going to break left, right and centre for you. Right, let's try and reverse this trailer in, if I can find out where the back is, because I can't even see it. There it is. Is there anything else that we need to go through? I don't think so. I think that's the main stuff covered. A very welcome addition to American Truck Sim, I have to say, as it is on Euro Truck Sim as well. That can be straight, do we think? Looks fairly straight. Maybe that way a touch. So same thing, when we drop this thing off, we don't press the T key, because we're just going to unload the trailer. We're not actually going to detach the trailer. Don't know if it's going to accept that or not, to be honest. Yeah, it is. There we go. Jeff at the back there, I know him well. He's let me... there he is. It's a bit wonky, but Jeff's okay with it. So just press the Enter key, and up will come yogurt delivered from Sacramento to Grand Canyon. You'll get all your stuff breakdown here. So finally, when you click on current company job offers, this will then show you jobs that are coming out of this town. So you can drop this goods off, click on current company job offers, and carry on with another job. It means you can just bunny hop your way around the countryside. Very handy. So finally, the trailers that are stored in your garage, after a certain amount of time, they'll start to get used and you'll be able to measure the utilization. I have heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, I've heard that if you've got trailers, then they will earn you more money for your AI drivers, but as yet I can't see how to see that kind of information. I've also heard that you'll see your trailers being driven around the map by your drivers. Again, I've not had a confirmation of that, because as I look at trucks going past me, I have no way to know if they're one of my drivers or not. Perhaps maybe if I put an obvious skin on them, I'll see them. But it would be really cool if you could just bring up the map and it would show you where all your drivers are and what they're all doing. Just remember that any trailer that you own has to be based in one city, and when a driver takes it, they'll bring it back to that city. It will always be in the same garage unless you relocate it. So 1.32 should be out soon on a public beta. You can go ahead and try it then. Hope you enjoyed the video though and found it useful, and if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you get all of my notifications for my videos. Until the next video guys, take care. Happy trucking!